Okay, so we've got our web page pretty much worked out. We've the way it's laid out in the Viscom uh, mobile first, and we now want to actually talk about media queries and responsive design. The What we're going to be doing is going from a um, this layout where the everything's stacked in the footer to a layout where it's actually horizontally across. We did this already with the header. So what we'll want to do is do the same thing with the footer. And we decided that anything above 800 pixels it's going to display horizontally across. And the way we do this is we do a media query. And if you search for media query, one of the top links is going to be W3 Schools. I would suggest looking at this, reading it, but it basically tells you how to do it. And what we're going to do is, since we're doing responsive, we're doing mobile first, is we are going to want to do min width. So basically, at a minimum width, these things are going to happen. So let's get to it. Now, the way you do the media queries is they are at the bottom of your style sheet. They should be the last thing in. And it looks like at media screen and then this is where we put in our restrictions. So min width 800 pixels. Put a curly brace, and then basically we want any of the styles that we want to change to be in this section. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this footer and social media, and we are going to make them go horizontal. So we start with footer, display, flex, and basically I'm copying this off of this header up here. We have header display flex, flex 1. Now, since we have 3, and this is footer, not foot day, since we have the 3 elements, we have social media, we have contact, and we have copy. We can do all these in one line. So dot copy is the first thing, comma, and then our social media is next. So dot, since it's a class, social media, comma, and dot contact. We tell these that we each want these to take up flex of 1. Basically, it will evenly divide and put them in single. It'll put them in a horizontal row with each one taking up an equal amount of space. Let's save this and see what happens. Let's go back to our page, and I refresh it, and let's go to go to just normal display. I'm going to go ahead and take this out to be a size here. Notice that up here we have that's 775 pixels wide. It's still stacked, and as soon as I move this and it hits 800, of course this is going to go down, that at 800 pixels it goes across. And that is basically the key to responsive design, is these media queries. We want to make sure that since we are doing a media query and we're doing min width, we want to start with the smallest work to the largest. What will happen is if you do something like this, where you have at media, screen, and min width 600 pixels, and this is the example I used in class. Well, let's just change we'll just change the background color of the footer. Footer background color blue, and at 800 we want the background color to be, we tried red. Red's horrible. Blue's not any better really, but they stand out really well when you do things like this, the primary colors. So let's go ahead and do red. And so our expectation would be that at 600 pixels, between 600 and 800 pixels, this would be blue, and then once it got above 800 pixels, it would be red. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down to under 800 pixels. I'm going to refresh the page, and we do have a blue background here. And, oh, okay, I was like, where did the contact me go? It's a link, it's there, it's just not visible. Contrast. Contrast is important. So as we go larger, and we get this to 800 pixels, well, it's still blue. And the reason why that is your HTML processes as it's going down through the CSS. Remember, order matters, capitalization matters, last rule wins. So it comes in here and it says, min width 800 pixels. All right, background color is red. And then it comes down here and says min width of 600 pixels, background color is blue. Well, even if we're at 900 pixels, this is still true. It is still minimum of 600 pixels. So this one wins out, and since it's the last rule in the style sheet, it wins. If we really wanted this to be correct, we would want to take this and put it at the top. So I'm going to save this, and now when we go back, I'm going to resize this down to, well, let's go under 600 pixels, and then we'll refresh. So it's under 600 pixels. We haven't set anything for the background color. We don't have anything set by default. If we had set a background color here, then that would be what's there. But we haven't set anything, so it's white. It's whatever the default is. As we go up in size, as soon as we hit 600, it goes to blue. And as we go larger and it hit, see, it's still stacked, so we haven't hit 800 yet. We're 780, 790, and 800 pixels. It goes to red. And now you understand responsive design. Or at least you know the basics of how to get it to go. Now, what we're going to cover next is Bootstrap. And Bootstrap is built off of Flexbox, which is basically how we've done these. But in order to understand Bootstrap, you kind of have to have an idea of how the media queries work, because Bootstrap and getting the columns to lay out is all based on how we want, it's all based on media queries. It's just a lot of the work's done for us. So the last thing I want to do is this also needs to go side by side. And this is going to be real easy to do. We've already kind of copied it here. I'm going to get rid of this background color because that's just horrible. with this, we're talking about, well, first off, I'm going to follow the same rule. The order of the CSS should be the order that it comes in the page. So this is the main content. We have, let's take a look at the HTML real quick. So we basically have a profile image and about me in a section. So what we will do is, in this media query, so we're going to break everything at 800 pixels. We're going to say section display flex and dot profile image flex 1. And I could do the same thing here with a comma. So this is this down here is the same as writing these out individually. So this is just the longer way of doing it. So profile image and then about me, and we'll give it a flex of 1 as well. We'll save this, go back to the web page, go to where we're under 800 pixels, refresh. We've got rid of the background colors. And now when we go out to 800, we now have the image and the about me to the side. And that's all there is to that. We'll talk about how to add Bootstrap and make Bootstrap happen. And that's the next thing to do. Oh, I forgot. These I want to the left and to the right. So that's just 2 quick lines in here. Dot copy is to the left, so we just do text align left, and contact, the class of contact, we want to the right, so it's text align right. We'll save that, go back, refresh, and now we have it actually lined out the way we want to. I think that for this, the image being say 90% and aligned to the left so it follows this line, this imaginary line on the left hand side, would be better. So let's go ahead and do that real quick just because we can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this section up here because this is how we're setting the width. So it's profile image 80%. Profile image, we'll post that, paste that. Let's change this to 90%. And in profile image up here, we had text align center. So let's do text align right. Text align left. Let's save this, go back, refresh it, and now we've got this to where it's on that border. And we still have a little bit of a gutter here, so the image isn't right up against the text. And what you'll notice is, even as we go, if I close the Chrome Developer Tools, this is going to automatically adjust for size. So we have a truly responsive website. And then once we get below 800 pixels, it's a stacked website. So really the 800 pixels might be better at 600. And if we wanted to do that, all we do is change the size of the pixels. All right, have a fantastic day.